graduated from Rowan University in the spring of 2022 with a sports communication and media degree. I got to actually call minor league baseball and G League basketball games while I was in school. And then I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I miss putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
I showed a swung on barrel. Get out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone.
Y'all are doing well and having yourselves a very, 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 very fantastic day. Hold up, let me readjust this. And also, this is not the post-game show. This is the pre-game show. Hi, everybody. Hopefully you're all doing well, man. Ready to start off the second half with a bang, for sure. And I'm really looking forward to getting back onto the bike with you guys, you know? I definitely needed some time off, and I hope that you guys enjoyed your time off, too. I missed you all, and I'm happy to be back. And now we're going to be pushing out more and more content, and then we got one final push before baseball season comes, and then we're going to be back on every single day. And a lot of streaming, a lot of really cool things coming up this year. And, yeah, it should be fun. Sixers take on the Boston Celtics. That's who they're playing tonight. Game should be starting in just a little bit. Tip-off should be underway momentarily. Sixers are 20-34. Celtics are 39-16. Sixers are indeed playing at home tonight. And they are looking to try to get their 21st win of the season with Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid. They are all three active in tonight's game, and they're going to try to get a win at the Wells Fargo Center, which should be an interesting game. No Eric Gordon tonight, no Kyle Lowry, no Justin Edwards, and of course no Jared McCain either in tonight's game. Jared McCain out with season-ending surgery. He was been out since the very end of December, and so he is not going to be playing. And who else did I mention? Who else did I mention? Why am I blanking out? Eric Gordon out with a wrist injury. Kyle Lowry's out with a hip injury. And Justin Edwards has an ankle injury, and he's going to be missing the next two games and should be back by the 24th. So, again, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button as well. I'm happy to see each and every one of you back on here. And I hope that you guys enjoyed the break as much as I did. Yeah, so I wanted to talk to you guys, and I wanted to just get your opinion on things now that we are back in the action of stuff. Okay. Where are we with the Sixers? Okay, so if the Sixers lose tonight, do we call it a season? Or are we willing to let this thing play out and see if they can get into the postseason with the current roster that they have? They did add Lonnie Walker. Very nice move. Does he move the needle? No. But he still is a nice guard that can play alongside Tyrese Maxey. He went overseas, and I didn't think that was right. And finally came back to the NBA and is looking forward to the next chapter of his life. And I think that it's a nice fit for the 76ers. And they got him locked up for the rest of this year and next year. And there wasn't a lot of financial risk at that either. So I like the signing. I think that he's somebody that can put the ball on the floor and he can help get you by. Those are the types of guys we need. We need guys that can buy time and also play basketball at a nice level, you know. do something or have somebody that just does the little things correctly, can create their own shot, can take it right over to the cup. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So it should be a fun fit to see how things do go for him and for the rest of the team. And I'm curious about that. So, all right. What are our final score predictions? Make sure that you guys comment those down below as well. What are your final score predictions, man? Let us know what your final score predictions are down below. My final score prediction for tonight's game, I'm going to go with 108 to 104. They're playing against Boston. I actually should go up a little bit higher. Let's do 118 to 116. They won 118 to 114 the first game that they played, and then they lost 118 to 110. So I guess that we'll just go with 118 to 112. 118 seems to be the magic number for this regular season series. So 118 to 112 is my final score prediction for this game. And that's what I'm going to stick with. But what are yours? Comment them down below. All right, let's go into our main screen, which is right over here. There we are. Nice. We are on the road to 4,800 subscribers, so if you guys have not done so already, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button as well. Sound effects are working. Indeed, they are. I probably could turn myself up a little bit. Oh, wait, the sound effect wasn't really that loud, so. And this is a little bit down, so that's better. Yeah, okay, good. Very, very nice. Sixers are playing the Celtics tonight. The Celtics, they're just missing Xavier Tillman. He's been ruled out for Thursday's game against the Sixers. But that's it. He's dealing with a knee problem. Other than that, everybody else is healthy for them. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, the whole entire squad. Kristaps Porzingis is back. Jaylen Brown, as we mentioned, Drew Holiday, Derek White. That's going to be their starting five today. And the Sixers will get you their lineup in just a little bit of time. But yeah. So let me know if you guys think if the Sixers lose tonight, do they call it a season and wave the white flag and try to get a top 5 protected draft pick? Let me know down below. Emojis are checked. Good. 110 to 96 Boston, says Grace. 110 to 96. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, cool. All right, we're about ready to be getting underway in hopefully just a few moments. All right, so we take a look at the Eastern Conference standings. The Sixers, they are 2.5 games behind the Chicago Bulls for that 10th seed. So they are a couple of games back, and they are hoping to try to get a win, and they are also praying for a Chicago Bulls loss to the New York Knicks. Now, the Sixers do play the Bulls. I think that they play them on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Did they play them on Sunday? I should probably know these things. The Celtics, they've won 7 out of their last 8 games. That I do know. And they've been pretty hot. They have. They actually play the Sixers on Monday, February 24th. Okay, so there's a game in between the both of those games. So, okay. All right, so they play the 24th. What's up, Alex? Alex, did you change your name? Did you change your name, my guy? What was your name before? Because I don't recognize you, and you're Ahmad. You're Ahmad, or were you always Alex, or did you just change your profile pic? What's going on? I like that my members' stars are getting a new color. Smash that like button, absolutely. Tyrese Maxey, Quentin Grimes, Paul George, Kelly Oubre Jr., and Joel Embiid are the starting 5 for the Philadelphia 76ers. And it's Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Kristaps Porzingis, all for Boston. What's going on, Big Rud? How are you, my friend? How are you doing? Sixers in their blue and white uniforms with the blue stripes going down each side of the jersey. Have the red outlines on the front and on the back as well. And we should be ready to get things going. Porzingis will tip things off along with Joel Embiid at the Wells Fargo Center. And Embiid tips it over to Jaylen Brown. And Brown and the Boston Celtics are underway as they have possession first. They're in their white and green uniforms as Tatum will try to kick it out over to Drew Holiday on the near corner. And the ball does go out of bounds. Doing okay, this is Bid Rudd. What's going on, my friend? How are you? How are you? We're ready to get back into the swing of things. And it's nice to see everybody on here, man. All right, so Holiday will inbound it over to Jaylen Brown, who drives past Kelly Oubre and finishes with the finger roll finish at the layup line on the left side. And it's 2-0. Boston strikes first. George tries to give it to Embiid. It's deflected off the hands of Tatum, but George does get it back. Embiid down low on the block. Holiday guarding him. Embiid swings it back out to George for a catch-and-shoot three. Swish goes the basketball. And it's a 3-2 game. Paul George emotes in the chat, as well as Joel Hans Embiid. Porzingis tries to throw it in no man's land. It was Holiday that was cutting over towards the rim, and I think that Porzingis was thinking about passing it over to him, and there was some miscommunication breakdown, and that leads to a turnover, and the Sixers have the ball. George gets it over on the far wing, and we have a foul called on Jaylen Brown. So it's 3-2 Sixers. Maxey will be the inbounder for Philadelphia. Maxey had a very good first half. I'm sure that he enjoyed his time off as well. Embiid down low on the block, trying to posterize Kristaps Porzingis. What a pass to Oubre, who was cutting towards the basket. It was a bounce pass, and Oubre was able to slam it home. 5-2 is the score. Sixers out in front by 3 points. A layup by Kristaps Porzingis. He got it to go and finishes on the right side of the baseline with the right hand. Embiid catches, puts up a three. In and out it goes. And Holiday will grab his miss for the Boston Celtics. Holiday driving past Oubre, and that's the third layup that the Celtics have made on the Sixers. They're just getting everywhere that they want to with ease. Oubre for three. In and out it goes again. And Derek White comes up with his miss. So White will just try to lob it down low to Jaylen Brown. And Maxey tries to play defense on him. And he throws it over towards Holiday. Holiday to White for a near wing three. Jackpot. 9-5. That's what the Celtics are doing, working around the clock, and they lead at 9-5. George, ISO, three-pointer on the near wing, and it goes out of bounds at the front side of the rim, and went out of bounds over towards the baseline, and it'll be Boston basketball. All right. There's Nick Nurse in his second season as head coach for the 76ers. 2 games under 500 in his tenure here in Philadelphia. 67-69 is the record to be exact. Embiid wants to try to drive it inside. Goes up with a 2. He flops down low and goes down like a bowling pin. Celtics, they got the rebound. Holiday to Brown in the dunker spot. And Brown gets fouled by Tyrese Maxey in the act of shooting. And we will have some free throws coming on up. So the Sixers were able to get 5 points, including a 3 by Paul George and a dunk by Kelly Oubre. And the Boston Celtics defense over the last couple of minutes has been stepping up to the plate. And the Sixers cannot get stops on the defensive side. Brown's first foul shot, he puts it up and swishes it to make it a 10-5 ball game. Brown already with 2 points in this outing so far, averaging about 23 points per game. The 28-year-old from California College was the 3rd overall pick back in 2016. And the second free throw, he knocks that one down as well. It's 11-5 Boston out in front by half a dozen. Maxey on the near wing wants to ISO over Derek White, and now gets the matchup he wants on Drew Holiday. Embiid throws it away. It was tipped off the hands of Porzingis and intercepted by Jaylen Brown. Holiday trying to take it over towards the cup himself. He spins, he turns, he tries to make the layup. No. Porzingis tries to get the rebound. It's battered around off of 4 players. And Quentin Grimes, here he is, out in transition. Tries to throw it over to Oubre. Almost got it knocked loose. Oubre to Paul George will reset the top of the key. George now at the nail and goes back outside on the perimeter. Wants to ISO again. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And he puts up an elbow J and cashes it in. Paul George doing Paul George things. 5 out of the 7 points scored by PG himself. Brown lost the ball. Oubre turnover, throws it, and it's intercepted by Jason Tatum. Tatum inside outside to Porzingis for a 3. Wide open. He backed up, but he did not make the shot. And Joel Embiid catches his miss. Grimes gets the ball for Philadelphia, and Embiid's at the top of the key and dumps it back off over to Paul George. Sixers down by 4. Embiid on the block, trying to take on Jaylen Brown. A nice pass outside to Paul George, and he wants to pass it. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. The ball finds Tyrese Maxey. Maxey to Oubre at the baseline, and Oubre throws it down with 2 hands again. All right, so that makes it now 11-9. Sixers down by 2 points. 7.5 minutes left remaining in quarter number 1. Tatum looking to pass it as Grimes is guarding him, and he finally will bounce it over to Jaylen Brown. Brown back to Tatum, a 2-man game between the both of them. Tatum's layup over Embiid, he got it, he parted the Red Sea. There were about 3 defenders from Philadelphia that didn't want anything to do with Jason Tatum, and Tatum took it to the rack himself. Embiid dumps it off over to Oubre, and now Embiid thinking about going to work here over Porzingis. On the low block he is. He puts up a 2. Money in the bag for Joel Embiid. Turnaround J that he made over from that elbow and was just able to swish it. 13-11, and Tatum now wants to go up against Quentin Grimes with a step back to himself. He can't get it. Tyrese Maxey got the rebound, and Drew Holiday pushed him out of bounds, and it'll be Philadelphia basketball. Sixers call a timeout with 6:49 to go in quarter number 1. They're down by 2. 13-11 is the score at the Wells Fargo Center. Okay. It feels so refreshing to be back. It really does. I feel very rejuvenated, and I feel happy. I just do. I feel so happy to be back on. I really felt like I needed that break. And it's worked, man. It has. It's nice to be able to step away sometimes and just be able to catch up with yourself, rest, and also catch up with the rest of the world and that type of stuff. So that was great. It was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful. What's up, Jane? How are you, Jane? What's going on? What's up, Scott? Guys, if I don't get to all your chats, I do apologize. I try to read as much as I can, so just don't take it personally if I don't read your chats. Sometimes I'm in the moments, like when I'm doing my play-by-play, and I know it's a lot, right? Like you gotta call the game. You're doing a traditional play-by-play call, and then you can't like let chat distract you, because then when that does happen, then some people get turned off by that. And sometimes, ADHD sort of, sets in, and you're like, oh wow, like, and you sort of lose track of focus and all that stuff. So don't ever take it personally if I don't read your messages. I just want you to know that I love you and I'm not angry or mad. So I just want you to know that. We got 17 people tuning on in. My name is Jason Joseph. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I'm a play-by-play broadcaster. I'm from South Jersey, and I go live for Sixers, Phillies, and Eagles games. Getting ready for the baseball season. We're going to try to do a couple of spring training games. People have asked me, are you going to be doing spring training? Are you going to be doing spring training? I'm going to try to do a couple. I really don't like doing spring training so much, if I'm being honest with you, because I do 162. and that's a lot. And I'm not like trying to complain or anything, but just being on here for the 162 is already a big commitment in itself. And I'm not going to make all the 162. I know that. We're going to have other replacements come on for us. But I'm expecting to do at least like 140 out of the 162. 145 would be really my ideal goal. So, but yeah, it's a lot, man. Eric's here. What's going on, man? Wow, JJ, my guy, you were great at this. Thank you. Football and baseball is more chill. This basketball play-by-play doesn't let you catch your breath. Oh, listen to us do hockey. It's even more intense, And that's the other thing too, is that baseball, people don't understand. Well, in baseball and football, you have downtime, so it's like people feel more, I don't want to say ignored, but there's time for chat, there's time for interaction, but you got to pick your spots, especially when you're doing basketball. I look at it more as if you're doing an opera piece when you're doing basketball. I don't know if that makes any sort of sense, but you have operas are very long. George gets the inbound pass that the Sixers are back on. He'll give it up to Grimes. Grimes to Embiid on the low block. Embiid with a runner. Can't put it up and in. And Jason Tatum comes up with the rebound. That's his second rebound. Actually, scratch, that is his first rebound only today. Holiday over to Porzingis, and they play a game of catch with each other. Holiday throws it back over to Kristaps as they go from right to left. And Paul George blocks Kristaps Porzingis, but a foul is issued to PG in the act of shooting. The Sixers are 7-6 when Embiid, George, and Maxey all play together, and they are 7-13 when two of the three play together. They're 6-13 when one of the big three members plays. And Kristaps Porzingis at the line for a pair of free throws. He knocks down the first one and cashes it in. The live odds for tonight's game, according to ESPN Bet, the Sixers, their money line is at plus 240. And for the Celtics, it's at minus 290. Free throw number 2, good as gold. 15-11, Boston up by 4 points. Give Kristaps Porzingis 4 points and 2 rebounds in this ball game. George dumps it off over to Maxey, and they play a little game of catch. Now Embiid dumps it back off over to George. Embiid's at the foul line. He's being guarded by Jason Tatum. Back is right behind Jason Tatum now, as now we'll just give it up over to Tyrese Maxey, who lays it up and lays it in. And it's 15-13. Sixers down by 2. Another assist. The third one by Joel Embiid tonight. Tatum throws it away. Maxey alley-oop pass to Grimes, and he throws it down and ties this baby up. Not a good pass by Tatum as he threw it into traffic, and guess what? Tyrese Maxey came running to the rescue and stole it right from him, and it was a 3-on-1, and he threw a nice alley-oop pass to Quentin Grimes. Here's White on the perimeter, being heavily guarded by Kelly Oubre. That's his tag. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. White looking to try to pass it, and now will try to lay it up inside, and Kelly Oubre beat him right to the punch, and he got the rebound. However, there is a whistle called, and I think that they're going to say that Oubre stepped out of bounds as he went for the rebound and had his left foot on the chalk. He did. And Al Horford will be replacing Jason Tatum. So we're tied 15-15. Not a lot of scoring so far between the both of these teams, but they've both went on their runs. There's 5 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first frame. Leading the way for the Sixers, well, it's Kelly Oubre Jr. and Paul George. George has 5 points. Oubre has 4. And he leads all scorers as well. Porzingis has 4. Jaylen Brown has 4. Embiid is 2. And that's pretty much it so far. Gershon Yabusele will enter on in for Paul George. So Yabu's getting his first second half minutes here. 6 feet 8 inches tall, 29 years old. And we have an away from the play foul called on Kelly Oubre. And so Porzingis will head to the foul line, and the free throw is off the mark. Hit the front iron and danced off towards the right side of the rim. And Celtics will still have possession. So it's Derek White, it's Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, and Al Horford. White outside to Horford, and they kick it out to Drew Holiday. Holiday gets around the screen, set by Horford, and knocks down a tray while he's at it. Quentin Grimes was his defender, and Al Horford set a back screen for him, and Grimes couldn't go anywhere, and a wide-open three was hit by Drew Holiday. Maxey trying to respond, and he can't do so with a three. It's rebounded by Derek White again. Grimes tries to intercept it and interfere with Jaylen Brown, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Quentin Grimes. How about Holiday working around a screen, and that's what Al Horford does. That's sort of underrated about Al Horford's game. Even at the age of 38, he's just a very good picker, if you want to call it like that. He's good at setting picks. So it's 18-15, 4:40 left remaining in quarter number one. Brown off the little screen finds Porzingis, a line drive three-pointer. Swish goes the basketball, and the Celtics are just shooting the lights out from downtown. They're 3 for 4 to be exact. Embiid gets tripped up by Porzingis, and a foul is issued on Kristaps. They call him the Unicorn. Actually, will call the shooting foul not on Porzingis, and they will say that it's on Al Horford instead. So Embiid was being guarded by Horford, and then Porzingis was right on over there. He made some contact a little bit with the both of them, but the foul was called on Al. Did you go to Aruba, Jamaica, Bermuda, Bahama? No, I did not. I actually went to Kokomo. No, I'm kidding. I got your joke. Sorry, Big Rod. I apologize. I didn't see you message before. My bad, man. Embiid at the line for 2 free throws. Knocks down the first one. Here's free throw number 2 as Pritchard comes in for Boston, and Joel Embiid hits both free throws.
Excellent.
4 points for the big fella. 1 for 4 he is from the field so far. Brown for 3. Everything is going in for Boston. They're now 4 for 5 from downtown. Sixers hoping to respond on the other side. They're just 1 for 5 from 3. Maxey off the screen, looking to try to get some help, and Embiid sets a pick for him, and Maxey knocks down and cans the tray. A straight-on 3 by Tyrese Maxey. And Brown will try to get past Kelly Oubre Jr. Tries to meet him right at the rim, and he can't get the layup to go. Offensive rebound by Brown himself. Pritchard steps back, lets it fly for a tray, and Yabusele hauls in the miss. Good outlet pass to Quentin Grimes. Grimes to Embiid on the perimeter. Embiid looking to ISO again. Double teams coming. Embiid dump off pass to Oubre down low. And back over to Yabusele. They'll reset it with Maxey. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Maxey at the top of the key. Drives it past 2 defenders. Puts up a layup. No. Embiid with a tip through. Yes! Tip through. I don't even know what that means, but Embiid did tip it back up and in. He was there on the follow through and threw it right down the hatch. Timeout called by Boston. Philadelphia, they're down by 2. Boston still in the driver's seat, and they'll be back in just a few moments with 3:14 left to go in the first. Whew. Good start. Look, I know I say this a lot. I'm trying not to like emotionally like get into this. I mean, let me rephrase that. I'm not trying to get soaked back in with this team. I'm just looking at what I see. And if they give me good stuff, they give me good stuff. If they give me bad stuff, they give me bad stuff. And we'll talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. But, you know, we're just waiting to see how this plays out. So far, though, my notes. I liked how they got Paul George going in the first couple of minutes. Thought that Paul George knocked down a nice little 3. I liked that little 2-man game that Embiid had with PG. They look a little bit more refreshed out there so far. But I also think that Boston's a little bit rusty. You know, you're sort of reading music. I remember, as somebody who loved doing concerts and stuff, when it came to learning a new piece, right? We had to learn the notes first. We had to break everything down. We would break it up by notes, and then we would add in the lyrics. But we would just do verse number 1 first, or we would do the chorus first. And then we go into verse number 1. Then we went into verse number 2, and then whatever changes there were. So the bottom line of what I'm trying to say is that they're going through a little process of trying to get back into the swing of things. And I think so far the Sixers are doing pretty good. I actually wouldn't mind if they lost and it was a close game, but if they get blown out, says Jane, yeah, I don't really have expectations. I say that now. Don't take my word for it. Jane says, good call. Thank you. 15 concurrent viewers. Please make sure that you guys hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you for being on here. We got our Eagles hat on tonight. Also got the Saquon Barkley snow shirt. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's pretty cool. I might, when we come back from another break, I can go to the model. Oh, I can do it now. There we go. Look at this. Look at this guy. This is Saquon Barkley in the snow, if y'all can't see. It's pretty cool. It's pretty sick. So, yeah. On the road to 4,800 subscribers. That's how I made my rap song, says Jan. Yeah? Gotta start somewhere. You know, you're learning about a new friend, right? You don't just walk up to the friend and become best friends with the friend. You gotta get to know the friend. You gotta communicate. You gotta establish a relationship. Figure out what you like, what you don't like, what the partner likes, what the other one doesn't like. Even in relationships, you know, like you learn and you try to figure each other out, and that's what sight reading is. Pritchard for 3, knocks it down. Peyton Pritchard, a Sixers destroyer, if you will, able to destroy a 3 from 26 feet, and Kristaps Porzingis gets the assist. So Maxey, Embiid, George, Yabusele, and Council all out there for the Sixers. Sorry, we just sort of flew right back into the swing of things. And there's Paul George, who goes down as he got hit right on the jaw, and a personal foul is issued on Sam Hauser. Wait till the end of the third quarter and then ask JJ. Not even that. Like, don't ask me until like another 6 games. Like wait. Even if I'm not like this today, like, you know, don't take my word for it. Let another 4 or 5 games go by. George with a nice little dish over to Yabusele, but he gets it rejected by Jason Tatum. The ball goes out of bounds, and it was last touched by Gershon, and the Celtics have possession. 27-22. Pritchard, a catch-and-shoot 3. Jackpot. He nails another one. Back-to-back trays for Peyton Pritchard. And they were in the same exact spot. Maybe this one was a little bit, maybe a foot closer, but it was in the same vicinity. Maxey lost the ball, and it's deflected, and it goes out of bounds. Sam Hauser was the one who last touched the basketball. Yeah. Wait until about another 3 or 4 games, and then ask me how I'm feeling about this team. Sixers won the first matchup, which was on Christmas Day when they had Caleb Martin, and he knocked down a ton of threes. I think he was 7 for 9 from 3 that day, or 6 for 8, something like that. First free throw by Tyrese Maxey. He puts it up and cashes it in. Another one deposited into the bank. Then they lost the second game, which was on February 2nd, and they lost 118-110. Free throw number 2 by Maxey, good as gold.
Excellent.
Maxey with 7 points, 2 for 4. He is shooting wise from the field, and he has a couple of assists as well. Tatum for 3, too strong, way off the mark as well. Yabusele outlet pass to Maxey. One more to Council, and Council will dunk it with two hands. Nice play by Yabusele, who was able to find Maxey at half court on the far right side, and then Maxey made an excellent bounce pass over to Ricky Council the fourth for the two. Another three by Horford, and Al Horford cans it from another area code on the far right perimeter. 33-26. 7-point deficit for the Sixers. Maxey steps back and lets it fly for a three, and that one is way off the mark. 1:15 to go. Rebound by Pritchard again. Pritchard at the foul line will look to kick it out to Tatum, and everything is going in for Boston. They have not missed a three in a very long time. They are 8 for 11 from beyond the arc. It feels like that they haven't missed from three in a while, but they're 8 for 11. Sixers not better at all. George with a catch and shoot three, and that one's off the mark too. Al Horford with a board. So nothing falling for the Sixers, everything falling for Boston, and that's why it's a 10-point game. Tatum being guarded by George. Tatum steps back, over on the elbow. Gets it knocked loose by PG. Stolen by Yabusele. And Yabu off to the races. And now stops on a dime. Gives it back to George. George to Yabu. Embiid on the block. Cornette guarding him. Embiid for two. Foul called on Luke Cornette. And 2 free throws coming up for number 21. Kevin's here. What's going on, man? How are you? Thank you so much for coming back. Good play by the big fella, Joel Embiid. Alex, you didn't tell me. What was your name before, man? You never told me. I saw that you either switched your profile pic, and that maybe you changed your name. So what was your old name? I don't know who you are, but you're a mod, and I want to say hi to you. Sixers are 0-2 when Joel, Tyrese, and Paul don't play. Again, we mentioned this before, but they're 7-6 when they all three play. Embiid at the line for 2 free throws. The first one, he knocks it down. Go over some other NBA scores in just a little bit. Embiid and Porzingis leading the way in scoring for their teams respectively. Hopefully you're staying safe from the snow, Kevin. We got another sub. 10 more till we get to 48 hundo. That's beautiful. We're almost there, man. This maiden is lowercase and pick. Oh, okay. Second free throw. It's good by Embiid.
Excellent.
Tatum at the logo and being heavily guarded by Quentin Grimes. He's not letting him get any sort of breathing room. Tatum for 3 over Embiid. No. 4.5 seconds left. Outlet pass to Paul George. George to Oubre for a three-pointer. And Oubre can't get it off. He actually got it off, just could not take the shot and make it. And George, honestly, he could have taken the shot if he wanted to, but he wanted to be unselfish and just hand it off over to Oubre for the 3 instead. Regardless, it would have been tough for them to capitalize, but they were very close to doing so. 8-point deficit for the Sixers as they leave the first quarter down 36-28. Then we go into quarter number 2. Sixers and Celtics will be back in a flash. What's up, Mike? How are you, my friend? And again, I missed you all, so I'm really happy that all of you are on here. If there's anything that you guys can do for me, man, like I only ask one favor, and that is just to spread the word, right? There's people that are diehard Philadelphia fans or that are just, big sports fans and love listening to good play-by-play. And I want you to spread the word. I do. I want you to spread the word. If you guys know of people, if you guys know of anybody who is out of the area and loves tuning in to either a good play-by-play or good Philly sports coverage, we really try to provide that with you guys on here. So it would mean a lot to me if you guys hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button and just spread the word. Tell your friends, tell your family members, and just push it, man. Push it out there. One person makes a difference, even if it's just the one. So, that's all I ask. You guys can also donate if you want to. You don't have to, but it is there. We do accept donations. And memberships. Man, memberships, they're $2.99 a month. Memberships, they're there too. You get access to really, really cool emojis. I want to also try to implement more things with the memberships, but it's $2.99 a month. All you got to do, I'm trying to find the link right now, and I can't seem to find it. That's odd. That's very odd. Where is the membership link? I probably should post that in the description too, so that way I have it at all times, and that's a habit I should get into. We just got another subscriber. Thank you so much. I, again, appreciate you guys. So my question to you is, if the Sixers lose this game, is the season over? Should we call for the season to be done? Should we shut everybody down? Is my question. Yes or no? All right. I'm trying to find the message for the emoji, for the memberships. There it is. Because to be honest with you, I don't think it's a bad idea to shut everybody down. I think that we should try to reset for next year and try to see if we can get a top 5 pick. And I'm usually not one to wave the white flag, but I look at it like this. If we want to be great, are the chances this year with a not so healthy Joel Embiid, is it worth taking the risk this year, or is it worth the risk of waiting until next year to try to go all in for this now? I'm usually on board with saying no, put all the marbles on the table, but this year my attitude has sort of changed a little bit. All right, so here we go. Sixers have the ball. Paul George gets it over on the baseline, being heavily guarded by Sam Hauser. George with a step-back baseline. Jay connects the dots. 21 likes. Season was over before it started, says Kevin. That was touching, JJ. I like that. Well, it's the truth. I don't remember what I said, but I mean everything that I say, Pritchard, another wide-open three. Can somebody just stop this guy? Seriously. He's just making every single three. You have him shoot from the perimeter. Everything's going on in. 9-point game, and we've only played about 1 minute into this second quarter so far. George for another 2, and he gets the mid-range J to fall. Wait till next year. It's too late. Again, I appreciate the compliment. Oh, were we talking? It'll come back to me. We were talking about getting more people to come on, right? Horford looks to pass it over to Hauser, and we have a whistle called, and it's going to be against, I think it's going to go on Andre Drummond. But don't quote me on that just yet. 39-32. And Tatum is at the line for a free throw. They called a defensive 3-second violation, it seems, on Andre Drummond. And the foul shot is up and in. 40-32. Pritchard, another wide open 3. Gets it to go off the screen, too. Just off the inbound pass. Peyton Pritchard, 4 for 5 from downtown. Everything going on in for him. And they've been in the same spot, the near wing. Grimes with a 3. Can't get it. Drummond, offensive rebound over 2 Celtics, and is able to put it back up and in. Nice little layup by Andre Drummond, and the lead is cut into single digits. Tatum, guarded by Quentin Grimes, wants to try to size him up and go up for a layup. He wanted a foul call. He cries. Grimes rebound, outlet pass over to Oubre, and Oubre will tip it over to Pritchard, and Pritchard was out of bounds over on the Sixers baseline, and it's still Sixers ball. That was a smart move by Kelly because he was getting a little bit wild, and by the time he got to the ball, the pass was a little bit out in front of him, and Oubre couldn't catch it. It sort of slipped out, but then he just tipped it onto Peyton Pritchard, who was out of bounds. Smart play. Andre Drummond gets the inbound pass. Paul George off the screen with it was supposed to be a lob pass to Andre Drummond. Miscommunication again. Tatum rebound. Nice pass to Cornette, who goes down the lane and throws it down with one hand. 11-point lead for Boston. Grimes, George, Oubre, Yabusele, and Drummond all out there for the Philadelphia 76ers. Yabu downhill, puts up a 2. Can't get it, and it's rebounded by Peyton Pritchard. Outlet pass to Hauser. Hauser sidestepping, puts up a 3-pointer. The basketball gods say no, and Andre Drummond comes up with his miss. Grimes wants to try to dance, goes downhill. Turnaround Jay. Yes, sir! Quentin Grimes with a step-back turnaround shot, and he made it in the face of Peyton Pritchard. Good job by the new Philadelphia 76er who was acquired from Dallas. Pritchard was thinking about going up for another wide-open 3, and Grimes got fouled by Hauser off of the screen. That was actually Luke Cornette, excuse me. Cornette tried to set a pick, and then it looked like Grimes actually was trying to fight through it, and he got called for the personal foul. Really? He got tripped up before he was even there to block. Hauser was the one who tripped him up. That should be tripping. That should be an offensive foul. How is that? Regardless, we play on. 9 minutes to go in quarter number 2, and Tatum back out there for the Boston Celtics. Cornette finds Pritchard another near wing 3, and he swishes it again and again and again. 5 for 6. Peyton Pritchard putting on a clinic against Philadelphia like he usually does. If he played against the Sixers, I'm telling you, he'd probably be a Hall of Famer because he puts up a lot of good numbers every time he faces them. Drummond for a 2. No. Yabusele, offensive board, puts it back up and lays it in. 10-point game, 8.5 minutes to go in quarter number 2. Pritchard, Tatum, Hauser, Horford, Cornette, and Pritchard all out there. Cornette with a slam downhill. Hold me back, fam, says the Boston bench. And timeout called by Philadelphia. That's been the 3rd assist that Tatum has had today, just on a nice bounce pass to Luke Cornette. And he's gotten a lot of his points down low. That was actually his 2nd assist to Luke Cornette. I thought it was his 3rd, but it was his 2nd. And regardless, we go into a timeout. And the Sixers will be back in just a little bit. Nine more subs, man. 9 more. We're sniffing the 4,800 mark, man. Someone please try to make it a little bit difficult for Pritchard. Yeah, that's a very good takeaway. Every single one of his shots have been coming off of a screen where he gets past the screener and he's able to make a wide open 3 from the near wing. Every single one of those shots. Except maybe there was one from the far wing. But I could have sworn that every single one of his 3s that he has attempted or has hit, all 5 of them have been on the near wing. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button, man. And subscribe to the channel as well. I don't believe in this team. Only here to see my friends. Yeah. It's cool, man. So I guess Lonnie Walker, the 4th, is not eligible to play tonight? Paul Edrick says that Adem Bonus should be playing. Yeah, after those 2 dunks, now you got to take Drummond off. I agree with that. Celts delivering an Eagles-style beating. So far. I don't even know if this has been a dominant game. I guess it kind of has. In the second quarter, it's felt more dominant than I'd say the first, but regardless, the Sixers need to step up. They're down by 12. They do. They got to be better. One thing about basketball that's always intrigued me, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way about this, but there's a rhythm to it. There's a conductor, and then there's the instruments that are out there, right? There's a pace, and basketball's pace is conducted it's supposed to be conducted at a high, fast pace, where you hear a lot of squeaking of the shoes on the gym floor, and then you hear, like the sound of the swish on the net, which is really cool. And I like that sort of vivid imagery that the sport does bring. And in some ways, I don't think that we're getting enough of that now in the NBA, because I think that we're getting more whistles and we're having more three-point shots. And so when you really think about the game changing, that's something that nobody really does talk about, because sounds really do relate to humans. And I don't think that we get enough of that now. I hope that makes sense. Andre Drummond gets called for a 3-second turnover, and Maxey will enter on in, as well as Jaylen Brown for Boston. All our instruments are out of tune. The whole league's, yeah. I tend to agree on that. Pritchard skips it back out over to Jaylen Brown. Maxey slipped up for a second, and Brown will try to school him as he hits a baseline J from about 15 feet or so, maybe 12 feet. And that makes it 52-38. Here's Oubre again, who tries to drive it inside, gets it rejected by Luke Cornett, and Jaylen Brown comes away with his miss. Brown downhill to Holiday. Here's another three by Pritchard, and finally he's human. It was from the near corner, not the near wing. Maxey tries to distribute it over to George. Grimes wide open three-pointer. In and out it goes, and Cornett on the glass, able to fight for another rebound. Tatum on the perimeter, guarded by Paul George. Dumps it back to Cornett. They play a game of catch, and Cornett's layup is good. That two-man game between Jason Tatum and Luke Cornett, the Sixers have not been able to solve it. It's like a Rubik's Cube out there. George for three. Got it to go. PG8. Able to hit a tray from the near corner. 12 points for PG. Another three by Brown. He's human. Grabs his own offensive rebound, and Oubre tries to strip it out of his hand. He does, but it goes out of bounds. That was a long rebound by Jaylen Brown. Paul George had a chance to get on over to it, and Jaylen Brown just cut in front of him and said, "Excuse me," and he got the board, and then Oubre, as he was trying to trap him, just slapped it out of his hands. So Tatum will take another quick breather, and Brown will inbound it on the Celtics baseline. Again, the Celtics in their white and green uniforms as they maneuver from left to right. Holiday gets it blocked by Paul George. Holiday still has possession, though. Holiday trying to get past PG. Good contest by George, and a rebound by Quentin Grimes. Holiday tried to make a layup, and Paul George said, "You're not going to get past me." Grimes behind the back dribble moves, puts up a layup, can't get it. And the rebound belongs to Derek White. Oubre tried to fight for it as well, just could not haul it in. Brown looking to back up over towards the Wells Fargo Center sign. Embiid's on the perimeter guarding him. They pass it to Holiday for a tray. And Quentin Grimes, another board. Outlet pass to Maxey. Sixers trying to hustle out in transition a lot throughout this game. Oubre with a layup and one. Nice pass from Tyrese Maxey. That tic-tac-toe play that they executed was on the far corner. They found Maxey on the far corner at the three-point line, And then Oubre was at the baseline in the paint. Got past Kristaps Porzingis. No, sorry, it was past Luke Kornet. And Kornet fouled him from behind as he hit a reverse layup. And now Porzingis will step on in for Kornet. So no need to worry about that two-man connection between Tatum and Kornet as of now. And the free throw by Oubre. Yes, sir.
Excellent.
We're halfway done. Quarter number 2, that is. So we're about over a quarter and a half of the way there. We have a foul called on Philadelphia. Oubre will get his second personal foul. 54-44. 14.5 points per game for Kelly Oubre Jr. this year, along with 6.5 rebounds and 1.5 steals as well. Grace, you know why? Cha-ching. That's why. It's money. Money talks. Brown tries to get it, and it's intercepted by Kelly Oubre Jr. He stripped it and poked it away from him. Grimes gets it to Embiid for 3. Embiid's three-pointer, no good. Grimes fighting for the rebound, gives it up to Council. Council gets it blocked, and, well, as the ball goes out of bounds, it'll be Boston ball. How about the hustle by Quentin Grimes? He stayed with the play and was able to volleyball tip it into the hands of Ricky Council IV over 2 defenders that were way taller than him. That's why the Sixers got him. That's why they like him. He provides a lot of hustle, and he does the dirty work. Brown with an outlet pass, or tries to distribute it around the timeline, and it goes into the hands of Pritchard, and we have another foul on Philadelphia. Maybe the fourth quarter, Grace. Yeah, maybe. Maybe the fourth quarter. Again, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. Spread that word, man. Spread the word. Derek White will inbound it from the far sideline over to Jaylen Brown. And Brown gets past the screen. We'll try to kick it out again to a wide-open three-point shooter, and that's Derek White, and it's just too easy. I mean, you play a game of inside-outside, you got to pick your poison. Boston is feeling it today. And Derek White, another deadly lethal shooter from the perimeter. Maxey's being heavily guarded by Holiday. He's done a very good job on him. Embiid gets it down low, goes up for a 2, and we have a foul called on Porzingis again. Embiid has been owning that matchup on offense. It is a shooting foul on Kristaps. Maxey with 7 points, 4 assists. I don't think he scored at all in this second quarter. All of his points, I think, have come in the first, as they made the switch to go from Drew Holiday on him. They had Jaylen Brown on him beforehand, and the Holiday matchup seems to be working. New hat. Oh, I've been wearing this for the last couple of weeks, but yes, it is a new hat for sure. And also, I showed off the new shirt before. I don't think you saw that. It's Saquon in the snow. Free throw number 1 by Joel Embiid. Got it to go. Joel with 9 points, 3 assists, and 2 boards. Free throw number 2, good.
Excellent.
10 points for the big fella. 6 for 6 he is from the line. Porzingis wide open three-pointer. Line drive, short. And Maxey comes up with the rebound. Tyrese Maxey looking to reset at the top of the key in between the circles. Dishes it over to Embiid, who's being guarded by Derek White, who wants to try to post him up. And he swings it over to Council. One more to Grimes for 3. And it's short. And Oubre can't catch the rebound. Butterfingers, it goes off his hands, and Derek White able to get another board. White has had 5 rebounds and has 6 points as well. White's been averaging 4.2 rebounds per game. It's a lot for him already. 3.5 minutes to go in quarter number 2. Brown on a drive to the basket, and a foul called on Oubre. What's going on, Doors? Doors, what's up, my friend? How are you? Thanks for checking in. And Asia's also here as well. Yo, what's going on, Asia? Thanks so much for stopping by, as always. Appreciate you. Yeah, and I miss you guys. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm happy to see you guys, you know? It's nice to see you all. Jaylen Brown is at the charity stripe. 3 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Foul shot number 1 He gets it to go. During his career, Jaylen Brown has averaged about 18.5 points per game pre-All-Star. And during his career after the All-Star, it goes up to 19.7. He's also shooting better from three, 35% in the pre-All-Star games that he's played throughout his career. And then post-All-Star game, he's shooting 39% from downtown. Free throw number 2, Jaylen Brown gets it. Council thinking about taking a wide-open three off the nice outlet pass from Maxey. Instead, gives it up over to Oubre. Oubre's 2, no. And a loose ball foul called on Kristaps Porzingis, as it was Council who tried to get the rebound, and there was just a little bit of contact. Really marginal, if I'm being honest with you. Very, very marginal. But the Sixers will certainly take it as they get the ball back. Embiid goes up for 2. Count it! And a foul! A turnaround jump shot by Joel Embiid over Drew Holiday. And he just banked it in. Wow. Beautiful. So we have a foul shot coming up for number 21. A dozen points for him. Half of his points have come at the foul line. Also shooting 3 for 7 from the field. And the foul shot by Embiid. He gets it to go. Excellent. He got the end one opportunity and took full advantage of it. White will pass it to Tatum. Tatum is at the top of the key. Celtics go from left to right. A catch-and-shoot 3 by Brown. Way off. Didn't even hit the rim. It was on the near corner. Embiid comes up with his miss. It was way too strong. Embiid thinks about passing it to George. He does. George's three-pointer. Too strong, and Jason Tatum right there at the right time to catch the miss. White gets it at the top of the perimeter again. Porzingis with a screen. And now Embiid guarding Derek White. Not a good matchup for Joel. White looking to pass it back outside to Tatum. I'm surprised he didn't just take him one-on-one. Now Tatum has it over on the near corner. Backs up, puts up a 3 over Embiid. Got it to go. Good defense, just better offense from number 0. Not our number 0, but our number 0 goes up with a layup, and he'll go to the line for one more. So Tatum was able to hit a 3 in the face of Joel Embiid. And then Tyrese Maxey, the other 0, being a hero for the Sixers, able to fight through adversity and hit a nice little acrobatic layup and get an and one opportunity. And we have a timeout called by Boston. It's 62-51. Sixers down by 11 with 2 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the first half. Nice. That excellent sample is hilarious. Yeah, thanks. That's what they play at the games. I want to give you guys some type of experience. I don't like to go too sound crazy. I really don't, because of DMCA and copyright stuff. But I want you guys to have some type of experience. Right? That's still why we play the song at the end whenever they win. Because I want you guys to, there's people that tune in that are from out of the country, and other networks don't allow teams to play that sort of stuff. And that's sort of the spectacle that comes with it, And I want you guys to have some type of reward. Yeah, that's the right word I was looking for. So, anyhow, JJ, can you please read my comment? I don't know what you said. I'm sorry, I can't scroll back up. I can't scroll back up. Like I said, if I can't read your comment, don't take it personally. That's to anybody. I said I was going to do the out-of-town score. See, this is what's distracting. It's not you guys. I just got distracted. So let's take a look at the out-of-town scores now. So the Hawks, they lead at 24-9 with about 3:24 to go in the first quarter. Cavaliers have a 19-15 lead against the Brooklyn Nets out in Brooklyn. There's 2.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter of that game. The Bulls are down by 1 with 2:12 to go in the first quarter. And the Grizzlies and the Pacers have a 15-point lead over the Memphis Grizzlies. 66-51 is the score there. And then, what else do we got? We got Hornets and Nuggets at 9 o'clock. We got Clippers and Bucks at 8 o'clock. The Suns play the Spurs at 9:30. And the Lakers play the Trailblazers at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And do we have any NHL scores to talk about? No, because they're on their All-Star break. So, all right. Oh, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Asia. We're all thinking about her too, man. We are. We really are. Thoughts and prayers, seriously, to you and your family. We all care, and we all love you. So, all right. But yeah, Sixers so far in this game, they're down 62-51 with 2.5 minutes to go in quarter number 2. And Maxey will go to the line for an and-one opportunity. Al Horford will sub on in for Drew Holiday, and the free throw is good as gold.
Excellent.
All right, so it's a 10-point game with 2.5 minutes left to be played in the second quarter. Boston has the ball. They go from left to right. Sixers going from right to left in their blue and white uniforms. Celtics are in their white and green uniforms. Tatum looking to pass it over to Kristaps Porzingis. 1 second left on the shot clock. Porzingis for a 2. Puts it up. Can't put it in. Didn't get the friendly trickle. And Maxey comes up with the rebound. Nice pass over to Council at the nail. Back outside to Paul George. George to Council, thinking 3. Distributes it back over to PG. PG wants to dance over Al Horford. Kicks it out to Oubre. Nice pass. Oubre's 3. Off the mark again. Tatum gets the rebound. 2-on-1 situation. And Tatum throws it down. The right-handed sledgehammer from Jason Tatum. JT and JB leading the way for Boston. And a nice pass from Jaylen Brown as well. Maxey rolls into the lane, kisses it off the window, and puts it down. Able to get a layup there. That's Tyrese Maxey. It's a 10-point lead for Boston. And Tatum gets it back over at the logo. Tatum parts the Red Sea. Tries to go up against PG. And PG plays good defense. An offensive tip back, though, by Boston. It's Jaylen Brown, and he has his way. It bounced about 4 times. It was like time stood still, and finally was able to go down with ease. 1:10 to go in the first half of this game. Sixers down by 12 points. Embiid out there for Philadelphia as the Sixers have the rock right now. Maxey tries to take it downhill, makes the layup, and it's back to a 10-point game with 1 minute left to be played. Nice layup by Tyrese Maxey. 55 seconds to go. Sixers could use a stop. Brown gets towards the right side, gives it back to Horford, a catch-and-shoot 3 in the face of Joel Embiid as he snarls right at Joel as he backpedals and gets back on defense. Sixers just 3 for 16 from downtown. The Celtics 14 for 24. Maxey's 3 way too short. Rebound by Boston again. They're getting the looks too, the Sixers. They're just not able to cash in anything. And the Sixers' defensive perimeter presence really hasn't been much. Another wide open 3 by Porzingis. Line drive good. That's just what happens. Tatum's getting the attention now. They tried to double him and make somebody else beat them, and that's been the case throughout this whole entire game. 72 for Boston. 5 seconds to go on the regular game clock for the Sixers. 56 for the Sixers. Embiid down low, puts up a 2. It's blocked by Porzingis, and that'll wrap up the second quarter. Sixers getting out-physicaled and outplayed by Boston as they trail by 16 points. It was closer just a little bit ago, but then Boston went on a big run to end that first half, And back to the drawing board the Sixers go as they head into the locker room. Good. Nice. Thought that was a really good call, too, because I needed that time off, and I feel very, 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 very refreshed. I do. What's up, Snow? How are you, my friend? Yes. Lord be with you. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We're all thinking about you, Aisha. We are. Let's talk about that first half. Let's go to the monologue screen and let's talk about that. Thoughts, grades, A's, B's, C's, D's, F's, G's, H's. What's our grade for tonight's first half? I'm gonna go with a C. I'll be kind of nice. I'm gonna go with a C. If I was being mean, I'd probably say a D. But I'm going with a C because I think that we're getting wide open looks. I just don't think that we're cashing down our shots. However, glass half full, glass half empty, we're not playing good on the outside. And a lot of what Boston's doing to us is our defensive mindset from Nick Nurse was take Jaylen Brown and take Jason Tatum out of this game when they get the ball and make other players beat you. And the Sixers have been giving him a lot of it, giving both of those guys a lot of eyes, and the eyes have not fallen on the three-point shooters like Peyton Pritchard, who has knocked down a tremendous amount of wide-open threes on the near wing. Al Horford knocked down a big one. Porzingis had a couple where he was left wide open and he knocked them down too. They're just so easy. They really are. And it's not good, man. It's not good that they're just allowing and surrendering all of these wide open shots. And something has to change. Tatum and Brown are 8 for 16 combined. They have also scored 24 combined points. But look at their bench. Al Horford, 2 for 2 from 3. Peyton Pritchard, 5 for 7 from 3. Luke Cornett was killing us at times with 6 points. Sam Hauser's a plus 10 on the bench, and he hasn't even scored, and yet he destroys us at times. So they're picking apart our zone on defense, and we're not hitting. Whenever we do have wide open shots, we're not hitting them, but their defense has been better. They're making more shots, and their strategy has worked. So if you're Nick Nurse, you go back to the drawing board. What needs to be the counterpunch? Guess what? These other guys are beating us. We can't guard a zone, and we got to provide a zone. We do. Now we got to cover the other shooters, and if Tatum and Brown are going to beat us, so be it. So be it. They've scored a third of their points combined. But the other guys, Porzingis is 10, Holiday is 5, White is 6, Horford is 6. Can't happen. The only 3 guys that have been active for us are Maxey, Embiid, and George. And they have scored a total of 38 points. 39 points. 39 out of the 56. That's because nobody else can step up for us on the bench. I like what Grimes has done. I think that he's done some good things. I think Oubre's defense has been okay today. I know that he has 2 steals, but I think that it could be a lot better. Yeah, I don't like how this is going so far. Glad you're feeling refreshed. I know how you feel. Yes. Oh, so we're good. So what's the grades? Jane gave a grade. Nobody else gave a grade. We got 16 people on here. I want to hear grades. C minus. C minus. Why C minus? I think that my grade would change and go down a little bit more if we were letting Tatum and Brown go off. I don't think that Brown and Tatum have gone off today, in my opinion. Have they had their points? Yes, but their points haven't been as loud as the others. Derek White made a couple of big open threes. Horford hit 2. Pritchard, Horford, Porzingis, and White have been destroying us. And each of those guys have made at least 2 threes. The only other guy that's hit 2 threes for them is Tatum. So, Neil says B-. You're being nice. Hardcore for all says D. Okay. All right, so I think that most of us are in a similar ballpark. Neil, why do you say B-? Because you don't expect you don't expect us to be like on the Celtics level, and you're sort of giving them. I don't want to say like that you're grading them on a curve. Actually, maybe that is what you're doing. I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts. Hear your thoughts down below. Why are we giving them a B? We're at home at some point. Yeah. Other role players, the role players tend to step up at home, but not like that so far. Has not been the case. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, spread that word, of course, and hit the bell icon as well. We got 184 total views. That is awesome. That's really cool. Who's tuning in on the vertical? What up, what up? Oh, Chicken's here. What's going on, man? What's going on? Oh, we need our mods on this channel. Come on, man. Celtics fan here, just hitting our stride. This team is getting healthy. Look out. Dude, for sure, man. Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Back-to-back banner 19 this year. Yeah, your team is legit, man. I can't say anything bad about the Boston Celtics. You guys, Danny Ainge found a way to really help you guys. And the way that you're... honestly, you guys, when I think about your franchise and where it is right now, you guys have a franchise that's just like the Eagles. And I know it's a different sport, but you guys set yourself up when you got Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward, even with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown as babies. You guys set yourself up for success for years and years to come. And you still have a nice window because Danny Ainge and because Brad Stevens and that whole culture that you guys have set in there, you guys understand what it takes to win, and you know how to fleece other people. Danny Ainge, I think, is the equivalent to Howie Roseman. Look at what he did. He traded the first overall pick. I mean, I know that my Sixers don't want to hear this, but look at what he did to build a championship-level roster. He knew who he was going to get. He knew who the Sixers wanted, and so he fleeced them, and he gave the Sixers the first overall pick, banking that the Sixers weren't going to take Jason Tatum, and they did not. They took Markelle Fultz, and Tatum goes to Boston, and they get more assets from that. He is so good at acquiring assets, both Stevens and Danny Ainge. Take notes, Sixers. Take notes. That's how you win a championship. Love the streams, man. You know what I mean? Like Caleb says, I love the streams. I appreciate you, man. Gary says, I just stumbled upon your podcast. I really like your fairness and your knowledge of the game. Been that Critics fan, or been that Celtics fan over 50 years. Well, I appreciate you, man. Again, I try to, of course, like when things go well for the Sixers, you know, we're going to bang the drum. We're going to, well, they don't have a drum, but we're going to be ringing the bell, all those things. But I want my audience to understand, right? Like when we do a traditional broadcast, we try to understand both sides. Are we homers? Yes. But we try to figure out as well what these other teams are doing well, especially when we're struggling. because we could trash talk. We could say, oh, screw the Celtics. We could say all those types of things, but sometimes you need to understand you got to look at yourself in the mirror, and you can't do any of the trash talking when you're the team that's being trashed on. You can't do that. Got to back it up somehow. How long have I been streaming? I've been streaming for 2 years, man. I started in December of 2022. The channel really started in November. But I was interning at NFL Films. I graduated from Rowan University with a sports communication and media degree. And I've been calling Sixers, Eagles, and Phillies games on this channel, but I like to do traditional play-by-play. You have other people, they do a good job on here. There's like no disrespect to anybody. You have other people that love to do watch parties and people that, you know, just sort of follow along with the game, but we like to do more so of a traditional play-by-play style where we still read comments and whatnot, but I want people to be able to get a clear understanding of what's going on in the game, and I want you to feel like you're there. Because I feel like a lot of times when you're on a watch party, and there's benefits to watch parties, but when you're in a watch party, you're not always like, for people that don't get access to TV, you can't see what's going on, right? So you're blind. And so when you just hear, nice three-pointer, or like, yes, what the frick just happened? You know? I can go on and talk about that. But there's pros and cons. That's just the one pro that I like to do in play-by-play. Just stumbled upon your podcast. I really like your... Oh, wait, I read that. Let me go back to this. Paul finally looking okay. Joel, not too bad. Magic are still getting their butts kicked. I feel that. I feel that for sure. Sorry, I was trying to go back and forth between both chats. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, by the way. You guys are the best. Wait, hold up. That was weird. Good night, all. Have a good night. Alex, thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. I appreciate you very, very much. It means a lot. Again, I'm really, really happy to be back. I've really felt like we needed to just take days because we had we had a big run. Like, this is, when you really think about it, like, this is supposed to be our off season. And what do I mean by that? We don't really get as many people on because we're not doing the grind every day like for baseball. And, you know, there's not as much engagement on here when it comes to basketball, when it comes to, you know, to football. We've been getting more and more engagement, which is great. But it's not supposed to be like, it wasn't supposed to be that busy, and it was really busy. And we did a lot of content for a quote-unquote off-season. And it was fun, but I needed that time because guess what? Baseball's coming around the corner. We started spring training, man. We started spring training, and we have a month until opening day. And once opening day comes, we're on here every day for the most part. There's no days off. None. And we got to make sure that we're conditioned for it. And we will be, for sure. But I'm just happy that I had that time off. That's all I'm saying. Enjoy the night. The night is still young. I'm from Alaska. Where are you from? I'm from South Jersey. I wanted to ask you guys, where are you all tuning in from? Yeah, I'm from New Jersey, South Jersey. That's where I was born and raised. Where in Alaska? Where in Alaska are you from? How did you get into sports? And this is for all of you. This isn't just a Caleb. How did you guys get into sports? How did you get into basketball? I know I'm firing questions at you like they're fastballs, but I want to know. And I know that you only get so many characters in chat, too. So, makes sense. 6 more subs until we get to 4,800. We're so close. And yet so far. Just kidding. We're not that far. Sixers money line right now, in case you're wondering, for those of you that are into betting, is at plus 240. Which I think is kind of low. Please correct me if I'm wrong with the way that I pronounce this. Kotezbu. I played basketball since I was 5. Kotezbu is the upper part of Alaska. Huh. Cool. Wow. Have you lived there your whole life? That's cool. What a month. Dr. J was kind of a big thing when I was a kid. Yeah. The sports fury who does the magic does almost less than what you just said. And I told him he should check you out and learn how to call basketball. He's like a shot player name in or off. That's it. Yeah, man, like I'm looking to help other people out along the journey, and I just love connecting with people, and I like talking to people. So again, just spread the word. And look, I always tell my people this, because I don't think that a lot of other creators do this, because, I guess that other people are afraid that they're going to get their feelings hurt or whatnot. I don't know. But I am always open to criticism. I'm always open to fair criticism. So if you guys have any ideas, whether I'm not having a good call, whether I'm not focusing on the play-by-play, whether you think that I should change some things about my hub, whatever it is, fire anytime. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it on here, you can email me. JasonJosephOnAir@gmail.com. The link is in the description, but it should be coming up in the bots. If my mods could actually post it, that would actually be even better. Sixers have the ball as we start off quarter number 3. And what do you know? They lost the ball. Joel Embiid lost it. It went out of bounds over on the baseline, and Jason Tatum has it for Boston. Tatum will dish it off over to Derek White as the Celtics go from right to left. The Sixers are now the ones going from left to right. Jaylen Brown spins, turns, and hits a turnaround J from the nail. Holy cow. Maxey again floats it up inside. Got the teardrop to go. And, he gets back on defense. Nice play by Tyrese Maxey. 74 points for Boston and 58 for Philadelphia. Inside, outside, White to Holiday for a wide-open 3. And what do you know? Drew Holiday able to knock it down from the far corner. And that's the 16th 3 that the Celtics have hit in this game. Grimes looking for some help as he gets it on the baseline. He'll bounce it to Embiid. Embiid being guarded heavily by Drew Holiday. Double teams coming. Holiday strips it, but there's a foul called. Honestly, I didn't even know if that was a foul or not on Drew Holiday. But Joel Embiid able to bait in Drew Holiday, and he'll go to the line for 2 points. We got 16 people tuning in on the regular and 12 on the vertical. Love those Sixers Celtics games back in the 80s, says Gary. I feel you. I didn't get to watch, but I've watched a lot of highlights, but it's different. Bird, I still have as the greatest all-around player of the game. I'm with you. I think that, I don't know if he's the best, but I think he's underrated now. I do. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves right now. I don't. First foul shot by Embiid. He knocks it down. Second free throw by Joel. Yes, sir.
Excellent.
The chimes. Let's see those bells in the chats. Tatum looking to pass it from near wing to far wing to Derek White. A three-pointer. He's human, and he can't knock it down. He was wide open again. Grimes got the board for the Sixers. Embiid dishes it back to Grimes. Grimes heads down the lane, kicks it out to Oubre. Oubre downhill, lost the ball, gets it back, throws it over to Grimes. Wide open at the top of the key. One more to George for 3. No good. Oubre volleyballs it into the hands of Derek White. 4-on-1 basketball. Tatum with an alley-oop pass, and Jaylen Brown able to throw down a two-handed punch and an exclamation point on that fast break. A lot of the rebounds have just been out in transition by Boston. They're getting them right at the foul line. The Sixers just cannot catch these boards. Oubre outside to Embiid on the baseline. And they swing it around the timeline. Maxey being guarded by Brown. One more to Oubre, another three-pointer. And Tatum tips it outside to Kristaps Porzingis to catch another miss. Brown downhill. He'll give it up to White. White's three-pointer is off the mark. And a foul is called on Quentin Grimes in the act of shooting. And White will head to the charity stripe for 3 foul shots. The Celtics are dominating in all facets. They're out-rebounding the Sixers. They're out-hustling them. They're playing a game of inside-outside, and they're getting to their spots everywhere on the court. White's first free throw, and he gives Boston 80 points. White does have 7 points, 7 rebounds, and again, he's averaging 4 rebounds per game this year. So for him to just be able to get 7. Also had 7 rebounds against the Spurs, though, and 9 assists and 19 points against his former ball club. Free throw number 2, he knocks it down. There's Joe Mazzulla, who's the head coach for the Boston Celtics, has to be very happy with how his squad is done this season so far. The third free throw, swish. He swished all 3 of them. Not even exaggerating. There's Brad Stevens over in the stands. Made his way over to the Wells Fargo Center. George with a catch-and-shoot 3. And Embiid can't get the assist. Derek White got the defensive rebound at the Sixers foul line again. Nobody hustled. Everybody was jogging except for Derek White. Brown with a catch-and-shoot 3. And he just puts one into the can. And Brown able to execute on another tray. A 13-6 run by Boston in just the third quarter alone. Grimes with a three-pointer. That's off the mark. And the rebound belongs to Jaylen Brown again. So Brown goes up for a 3. It's a little bit short. Maxey cuts off Drew Holiday off the rebound. Outlet pass from George to Grimes, who puts it up and in from C, the shining C, as he got the layup to go. Pritchard with 5 threes, Horford with 2, Holiday, Porzingis, Brown, Tatum, and White. They all have 2 threes for Boston. And they've been living and dying with that 3, but they've been living with it. And it's been really helping them in this game. Tatum being heavily guarded by Grimes. And Tatum, I thought, got fouled by Quentin, and he did. And we have another shooting foul called. It'll be against the Sixers again. The Sixers have missed 18 threes. They're 3 for 21 from beyond the arc. And the Celtics are 17 for 29. They're also out-rebounding the Sixers 25-22 on the glass, and they are out-assisting Philadelphia as well, 23-12. First free throw by Jason Tatum, and he swishes it. 13, 9, and 5. 9 assists, that is, for J-Tay. And he's 7th in the league in scoring, averaging 27 points per game. And he's on his way to his average again as he hits another free throw. He's about halfway there, 13 points, as we mentioned. Oubre gets it over on the baseline, puts up a 2 and 1. So Kelly Oubre Jr. able to fight through a lot of physicality over on the block against Kristaps Porzingis and Jaylen Brown. And Oubre will head to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. Okay, man, I have to go, but I love your streams once again, and I will 100% tune in next time. You're the best. Appreciate you. Matt's here. What's going on, Matt? How are you? All right, 87-64. Sixers did get an offensive rebound as Oubre missed the free throw. And there's another foul called. So Oubre is at the line for another one, and he makes it, and makes it 87-65.
Excellent.
So Oubre missed the and one, and then he was able to get fouled again by Porzingis. and then he missed the first free throw and made the second. That's what happened. Porzingis puts up a 2, and he's fouled by Tyrese Maxey. Starkey's here. What's going on, Starkey? How are you, my friend? What is going on, Starkey? Tatum will inbound it, and he passes it over to Drew Holiday. Porzingis with a turnaround J. Can't get it. Sixers down by 22 points. Paul George gets the rebound for Philadelphia. Maxey over to Grimes. Grimes thought about a 3. Gives it back to Embiid. And Porzingis says, I dare you to shoot a 3. Doesn't take it, though. Embiid trying to do a little fancy Euro step, and he can't finish at the rim with a 2. Here's White with a 3-pointer, and Paul George cleans the glass. Pass to Maxey. Maxey gives it up to Grimes on the far wing. The near wing, it's Paul George. Another 3. Can't get it. And Oubre gets the rebound intercepted by Derek White. A fast break dunk by Kristaps Porzingis. And a timeout called by Nick Nurse. The Sixers have just been not able to get on the same page. And they are down by 24 points. Their largest deficit today. And a timeout taken by Nick Nurse. And they'll be back. Great short, JJ. Who was that? Thank you. Whoever just commented that. Strat up dude. Strat up dude. What was that? Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Oh, that's hardcore. It comes up by your username. That's weird. That's really weird that it comes up by your username. Huh. What's going on, Starkey? Again, if you are tuning in for the very first time, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit those notification bell icons too, man. Not a good game for the Sixers. It has not been a good watch in this third quarter specifically. But that's what we expect, right? We expect this team to get mollywopped by Boston. At least that's what I kind of expected. I did say I was being optimistic. I did say, and I own up to it, I said that the final score would be 118 to 116. Or sorry, 118 to 112. And that the Sixers would win. Is there still a chance that could happen? Of course that there is. Is it highly likely? No. But there is a chance. But so far, not so good. We got 20 concurrent viewers. I feel like you guys needed the break as much as I did. And it's nothing bad. But I think that sometimes whenever we're invested into something, I read this book when I went to Israel. It was a children's book that they made us, we did a study on it. And it's called Zoom. And Zoom in Hebrew means the same thing that it does in English. When you move in and you change the, whatever. So I bring this up because when in the book you get a perspective of one thing and you see a picture and then they ask you like what does that look like to you? And then it zooms out on the next page. It's a children's book. And you realize, well, that thing was a horse and it looks so big. But then you realize it's on a table and it's a part of a child's play set. And then you realize that the child, in the next picture, that it is a child. You thought maybe it was just, an adult or something, but no, it was a child because then you could see the parents right behind them. But the point is that perspectives change when you zoom in and when you zoom out. And sometimes the moral of the story is that breaks do help because it makes you see the bigger picture of things. All right, here we go. Sixers get the ball back as Kelly Oubre tries to go up with a three-pointer. Can't get it. And it's rebounded by Boston. So, but yeah, I don't know what that point was, but I hope that made sense. Don't even remember half the things that I say. Anyhow, 89 points for the Boston Celtics, 65 for the Sixers. Embiid gets the inbound pass over on the near wing and dumps it back off over to Maxey. Behind the back bounce pass from Maxey over to Embiid, who's at the elbow, gets back over towards the nail, finds Oubre for a three, and he cans it from the near wing. That's just the fourth three-pointer that the Sixers have been able to manufacture today. It's actually just the fourth that they've made. They've manufactured a lot, but they just have not been able to make them. Horford wide open tray. No. Sixers dodge a bullet there. And Maxey off to the races as he gets the rebound. Gives it back over to Embiid. Embiid to Oubre. Oubre drives down the lane. What's he going to do? He goes up for a two. He elbowed Cornette in the face. They're going to call it an offensive foul. I think so. I do. He elbowed him right into the face. I couldn't tell what the call was. The ref was out of the picture. Elbowed him right there. Yep, that is the right call. And they're probably going to look at it to see if it is a flagrant. That's what I would assume. And again, there's no official call that I can say that they're going to do that. They are actually not going to do that. That's why we said probably. But they didn't. Probably means that the chances were high. They were not high there, I guess. Brown for an elbow J. No good. Yabusele rebound. Maxey marching down the lane. A kick out over to Quentin Grimes. Or is that Lonnie Walker? That's Lonnie Walker the fourth making the Sixers debut. Walker to Yabusele and a foul on the floor by Jaylen Brown. No, that was Jared Butler. It was Jared Butler. Excuse me. Jared Butler in there for the first time. See, I'm not looking at the scoreboard here because I like to look at the names, but it's way too far ahead for some reason. Roddy is going to come on in for Philadelphia. That is David Roddy, 23 years old, has played in the G League for the Sixers, or for the Delaware Bluecoats, I should say. Has done a pretty good job. Maxey over to Butler, a wide open three. Butler can't hit it. And Tatum gets the rebound over Gershon Yabusele. Yabu tried to box him out, could not do so. And Tatum has the rock, dribbles it outside, takes it with the right hand, bounces it over to Pritchard, another wide open three, and Pritchard can't hit it. Cornette offensive rebound. Tatum with a bounce, or with a behind the back pass over to Sam Hauser. And Horford's two, no. And finally the Sixers able to get a rebound out of it. Celtics are 5 for 13 from the field in this quarter. Sixers just 4 for 12. Yabusele off of the offensive rebound that he got from the wild layup by Butler. Gives it back to Butler for a three. And Tatum comes on in and grabs another rebound. Boston just winning in every category. Tatum for three. And that's way too strong. Horford saves it and throws it over to Hauser. More hustle plays by Boston. Pritchard wide open three again. Cornette offensive rebound. Horford puts it back up and he puts it in. Can we just hustle? It's all about hustling, man. And the Sixers are just not doing that at all. They're getting outclassed by Boston. Embiid to Butler off the screen. The three is way too short. And Al Horford again able to box out Joel Embiid on the rebound. They're settling for so many threes. Sixers are dying by it. And Tatum throws a pick over to Butler. Maxey off to the races. He finds Roddy wide open for another three. And it's a little bit strong. And Tatum snatches. I think he has a double-double now. That's just actually his sixth rebound today. Pritchard layup. It's good. And a timeout taken by Philadelphia. They trail by 25 points with 3 minutes and 25 seconds left in the third quarter. And it's getting ugly. It's just hustle. It's grinding. It's fighting through adversity. They're not doing that. There's no fight, man. The little things, the Celtics are just doing better than the Sixers are. I'm sorry. Prayers out to you prayers out to your mom, Jane. Seriously. 76ers are trying to collect young talent, looks like. I don't know what they're trying to do, Neil. I think that I think that they are trying to collect younger talent, but I also think that they're financially invested into their guys that they have that are on big contracts. And they're not going to sit those guys because at the end of the day, what do they care about? They care about the revenue. They want to put butts in the seats. And this is where change has to happen, and it comes from the fans. Comes from the fans. And it's hard. I call these games. So obviously it's my job to do that. But if the Sixers fans really want change, the only way to do that is to stop going and have your opinions be voiced that way, because actions speak louder than words whenever you petition for anything. So if they stop going to the games for most of them, then change is more likely to happen. But also, is now the right time to do it? I don't think so. I think we got to wait till the offseason in order for that to happen. Can we have a spring football league or something? Because who deserves to suffer through this is Ray. I agree. I agree with you. I am going to try to do some more ice hockey now that Villanova's done. I would like to try to do some Flyers games. It's just, you guys like, I know that there's other people out there that do it, but for traditional play-by-play, it is almost impossible to do it off of a monitor. It just is. It really is, because that's how fast it is. Can't see everything that's going on. And I'm still willing to do it, but it's just not going to be a complete product. And I think I have to accept that. They got a huge ball and chain with PG and Embiid. Surprised that the guy from the EuroLeague they acquired isn't playing. Yeah, that's Lonnie Walker. I don't think he was available to play today. I don't know, though. Council tries to go up with a layup, and he can't get it. And Yabusele thought that he touched it last, and it was Jason Tatum who touched it last. Yabu thought that Tatum touched it last, and he did. And so it'll be Tyrese Maxey will inbound it over to Roddy, David Roddy, that is. They give it back over to Ricky Council the fourth, and they'll dump it off over to Maxey. Maxey gets the ball battered around. Council has it. Roddy wide open, another three-pointer, and it's strong again. Got to get back, though, on defense. Shooters keep shooting, and you just got to clean slate there. Tatum on a drive to the basket, a kick out to Pritchard, wide open three, and he misses again. So Pritchard was very hot in the first half, making a lot of wide open trays, and now he's cooled off a little bit. But the Sixers are still down by 25 points. 21 concurrent viewers on here. We need 6 more subs in order for us to get to 4,800 subscribers. And we're so close. Hauser will inbound it over to Jason Tatum. And Tatum goes up for a spin-around, turnaround jumper, and he gets it in the face of Ricky Council the fourth. Paul George and Embiid are over on the bench. Council, catch and shoot tray. Yes, sir. Ricky Council the fourth. Attention, Council of Philadelphia. Ricky Council the fourth is in the building. Never again, hopefully. Jason Tatum, never again with that call. Tatum will give it back over to Al Horford on the perimeter. Pritchard gets it at the top of the key. Will try to find his way over towards the basket. He does, and he lays it up and in over Ricky Council the fourth. Pritchard with 19 points, and he's shooting 7 for 12 from the field in this ball game. Council will dump it back off over to Grimes, and Grimes throws it away. It was supposed to go to Council. Grimes thought that maybe Council was in his same spot that he was, but he moved about a couple of side steps over towards the far wing. And the pass was supposed to go over towards the far corner. Horford for a catch-and-shoot three, and he cans it and gives the Celtics 100 points. It's a 29-point deficit as the Celtics are blowing the Sixers away. Another three by Council. He got it again. 2 straight trays by Ricky Council, the fourth, all in the same spot from the near wing. Tatum with a three. In and out it goes. Grimes rebound, hustling for the Sixers. Gives it back to Council. Council thought about taking the three, and he should have, but he will just pump fake and pass it back over to Maxey. Council looks to redeem himself and put up another tray, and he can't do so. And with 55 seconds left in the third quarter, Boston in no particular hurry, leading at 100-74. Tatum guarded by Council. He wants to cross over 3 times. He drives it to the basket, kicks it out to Horford. His three, no. Cornette tries to tip it up and in, and the Sixers get a rebound, a much-needed rebound. Nobody can go up against Luke Cornette. Grimes tries to go up with a layup, and it's blocked again by Luke Cornette, and Pritchard comes up with the basketball. There's half a second separating the shot clock from the game clock, and Pritchard will just take it all himself. No Brown, no Porzingis, and no Drew Holiday, and no Derek White in this lineup here. Horford tries to catch it, and it goes out of bounds as he was supposed to catch a rocket from, forget who it was, but Drew Holiday nonetheless will step back in for Boston. It was supposed to be from Sam Hauser. That's who it was. 100-74. Oof. This one's going to leave a mark. Yabusele gets the inbound pass, gives it over to Roddy, and Roddy's half-court shot. He puts it up, and it won't count. And that'll wrap up the third quarter. The Sixers get absolutely crushed in quarter number 3 and outscored 28-18. And they trail by 26. They got a lot of work to do and a lot of ground to make up. All right. It is trivia time. You all know what time it is. It is trivia time. I'm going to ask you a Sixers trivia question. And if you get it right, you got to answer it within 30 seconds. You'll hear this. If you get it wrong, you will hear this. Okay. Okay, so I want to know who has scored the most points against the Boston Celtics on the Philadelphia 76ers. Out of all Sixers players, which one has scored the most points against Boston? We talked about Peyton Pritchard being a Philly killer. Who's been a killer against Boston for Philadelphia? $20 seconds to go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, where is it? Who answered? Dr. J. Dr. J is incorrect. Dr. J is incorrect. Who else? Ended up 1-0 versus USA. Ooh, good. The answer is Dolph Schayes. Dolph Schayes has put up the most career points for the 76ers versus the Celtics. In 152 games played, wait, that doesn't sound correct. He averaged 19.5 points against Boston. Oh, that does sound correct because the regular seasons, yeah, okay, because they played, there were less teams, so that does make sense. He scored 2,972 points against Boston during his career and about 19.5 points per game. Now, who's averaged the most points? It's actually Joel Embiid. Embiid has averaged 27.5 points against Boston. Iverson's 2. He's averaged 26.5 against Boston. Barkley's 3. Chamberlain is 4. And Irving is 5. So, there's your answer. So, Dolph Schayes has scored the most points against the Boston Celtics out of all Sixers players. You learn something new every day. The great Dolph Schayes. 174. Sixers got a D up on Jaylen Brown, who is trying to fight through traffic, and he gets fouled by Yabusele over on the block. Dolph Schayes. Who would have guessed that? We only had one guess. Dolph Schayes shares out of Syracuse University. His son Danny was a decent pro also. Yes, he was. So Pritchard will give it up over to Derek White. White back over to Brown. And here's Porzingis, who gets fouled by Yabusele. So there's another foul issue. Tatum, by the way, haven't really been on triple-double watch, but Tatum needs one more rebound to get a triple-double. 15 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds for Jason Tatum. White will dish it over to Porzingis. He's not in the game. Actually, yes, he is. He is in the game right now. Brown with a turnaround pass over to Porzingis, and Porzingis' 3. Got it with the shot clock winding down. Kristaps Porzingis able to pour it on Philadelphia with about half a second on the shot clock. He got it off just in time and hit it from about 26 feet. Here's Roddy with a tray. Roddy has been really, really cold ever since he's come in for the Sixers. And Tatum got himself a triple-double. Gave him 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. Brown with a three-pointer. Roddy with the cleanup on the glass. The last time that Tatum had a triple-double, it was on December 21st. And that was against the Bulls. 43 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists he had in that game. 103-76, Celtics have the ball again. Tatum on a drive, a kick out to Derek White at the SoFi at the SoFi sign, and Tatum a three-pointer. Can't get it. Oubre, rebound for the Sixers. And they dump it off over to Grimes again. Quentin Grimes, Kelly Oubre Jr., Ricky Council IV, Kershawn Yabusele, and David Roddy all out there. Council tried to bank in a 3 from the top of the key and could not get it. Tatum rebound again. Brown, his partner in crime, tries to head down low. Roddy strips it. Roddy steals it. Council solos it and throws it down with one hand. 103-78. What a nice dunk by Ricky Council IV, and one as well. He was thinking to himself, well, this is what I could have done in the dunk contest. He was actually not fouled, I beg your pardon. They were slowing up for a second, but it's Derek White who has the ball now as it was inbounded from Porzingis. White's at the top of the perimeter. Dumps it back off to Porzingis, a contested three-pointer, and he's human. And Oubre comes up with another rebound for the Sixers. Oubre wasn't even looking at going to the rim. Instead, dumped it off over to a couple of Sixers players. Here's Grimes for a 3. And, well, he is able to knock it down. 22-point game now with 9:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Sixers bench doing a better job for the Sixers, trying to get them back into this game. 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And still some time left, but the Sixers have got to go on a run. White will try to drive it inside, and he makes the layup And it's back to a 24-point lead for Boston. Derek White does it again. Here's Grimes again, who tries to part the Red Sea, lays it up and in, and one. Quentin Grimes, what an athlete he's been for the Sixers. Able to fight through some contact and just be a good basketball player that the Sixers have needed for quite some time. A guy that can just go get you a bucket no matter what the circumstances are. He puts the ball on the ground, and he's able to drive it into the lane and finish strong at the cup. 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists for the young fella. And the end one is good. He got it.
Excellent.
All right, 105-84 with 8:40 left to be played in the fourth quarter. Pritchard gets the ball stripped by PG, stolen by Oubre. Oubre tries to give it back to Quentin Grimes, and it goes off of his hand. He wasn't anticipating the pass. And another communication breakdown by Philadelphia, and that's not good. It went out of bounds, and it was picked up by Derek White. White has it for Boston, and he is looking to try to get over towards that near corner side. And he dumps it off instead over to Porzingis, and the foul is called. Keep it going, chip away. I agree. Ray Coleman says, Joe Mazzulla is a comic book evil. Why does he still have the starters in, says Ray. Well, he doesn't have the starters in right now, except for Derek White. That's it. And Porzingis. But also, they've collapsed a couple of times, so that's probably why. Pritchard over on the elbow. Tries to give it back to Hauser for 3. No. And Yabusele gets the rebound. That's probably why he doesn't have the starters in, because they've blown a couple of big-time leads, I remember, this year. George to Grimes. One more to Council for 3. Council's three-pointers way off target. And it's Porzingis again with another board. So the Celtics have just been very strong on the glass. Not a lot of offensive rebounds, though. Porzingis tries to fiddle his way past Kelly Oubre Jr., and Oubre gets called for a shooting foul. We have another subscriber. Thank you. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. I go on for Sixers basketball, Phillies baseball, and Eagles football. I'm a broadcaster from South Jersey. If you just like the background noise, if you like the energy, if you like what we do on here, spread the word. That's all I ask. Spread the word. We give you this content pretty much for free, except for the ad rev stuff. But other than that, it's pretty good. No commercials, no breaks, and we just grind. Grind. We will be on for a little post-game show, and we'll talk a little bit more about this game. We won't stay on for too long. Porzingis' first free throw is good, and the second one, he cashes that one into the bank as well. 17 for the Unicorn, and he's shooting 50% from downtown. Oubre on the drive towards the basket, finishes through contact, and he'll go to the line for one more. Another foul on Kristaps Porzingis. By the way, the Grizzlies are down 107-96. The Bulls are also losing to the New York Knicks. We got to start scoreboard watching, because if the Sixers want to try to fight for that 10 seed, they got to get some help. And tonight they could use some help from the Knicks. The foul shot by Oubre is good. Obviously, you got to take care of your own business. But it does help when other people do help you as well. 7:10 to go in quarter number 4. It's Hauser, White, Cornette, Pritchard, and Nemus all out there for Boston. Another 3 by White, and he hits it. He sinks it from the top of the key. Paul George steps back, elbow J, connects the dots. 110-89, and the Sixers deficit back down to 21 points. Maybe they want to call it stat padding. I don't know what it is, but regardless, let's try to get back into business. White with a bounce pass to Pritchard. One more to Hauser for a near corner tray. And that one he cans from the near corner. And Hauser finally gets his first 3 points of the ball game. Oubre to Drummond. One more to Grimes. It's rejected by Cornette. He is a tall dude, man. He is so tall and he's very physical. And he's been outclassing the Sixers. White, another 3. No good. Offensive rebound by Neemias Queta. And White will reset at the top of the key again. More athletic bodies for Boston, even with the bench. White, another tray. No. Cornette, another offensive rebound. Pritchard's 3, good. And Jason Tatum and the Celtics are all celebrating over on the bench. It's a 27-point lead for Boston. In Philadelphia, George steps back and hits a 3-pointer to make it 116-92. George with 17 points. There's Brad Stevens sipping his water in the stands at the Wells Fargo Center. Another 3 by Pritchard. Can't get it, and Drummond comes away with his miss. 40 hours and counting up until Atlanta Braves baseball. I cannot wait for baseball season. That's so cool. George for 2. No. Drummond tried to get the rebound, and he thought he was fouled. He cries woof to the refs and has to get back on defense. White will pass it back over to Pritchard. Less than 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And White again, fighting through some contact, puts up a J and says good night to Philadelphia. As a timeout is called by Nick Nurse, who scratches his head, has to go back to the drawing board, and he does not even look. He doesn't really have a look on his face at all. Just a blank look. It's crazy. It just has a blank look on his face, and he was scratching his head as he was calling that timeout. I think it was more so because his hair was itchy. I'm beyond ready, brother, says Longbaugh. I'm feeling you now, man. I'm ready, but I want to enjoy. As weird as this sounds, like for me, I'm ready for baseball season, and we're going to be pushing the content out for sure. But I would like to just breathe before baseball season starts. You know? Again, I said that we would do a couple of spring training games. Don't know when. We'll keep you in the loop. But I'm really not going to try to do too much. Maybe one. Maybe one. Because we're going to get tired. We're going to be covering them throughout the whole season. You know? That's a lot. It's a lot. So I don't really plan on missing a lot of days. And for the days that I do miss, I am getting somebody to cover for me. Unless we're doing basketball for the Sixers, or if we're doing Eagles football, whenever that does happen. I will try and get replacements. And I might try to get somebody else to come on as we're doing that. But, yeah. That's where I am. Let's look back at the other stream. Where is it? Nobody else commented anything. Folks, if you could do me a solid and hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, again, I would really, really appreciate it. Just continue to spread that word. We need 5 more subs in order for us to get to 4,800. We're 5 subscribers away, man. 5 subscribers away. We've done a pretty good job today with the subs. I've been very, very happy about that. We'll also have a little post-game show after this, too. And we'll talk a little bit more about this team. Even though I really don't have like too much to say. I wish I had more to say. But I think that we'll just chill and we'll talk to you guys and we'll do a little recap, talk about the game. But nothing too fancy. William, hit the like button. So should you. As Uncle Sam would say, I want you to hit the like button. Sixers are now 0-5 since Daryl Morey said the goal for the team was to fight for the playoffs. This is Sixers Daily. Ugh. Pathetic. Jeff Doughton Jr. will come on in for the Sixers, so they unleash their whole entire bench. There's Drummond who tries to put up a 2, and he is fouled. He got it to go, and they'll head to the line for another free throw. Baseball. Who's our leadoff hitter? Who should be our leadoff hitter, or who's our leadoff hitter? Those are two separate questions. Yabusele gets the offensive rebound off of Drummond's miss. Roddy gets it down low. Will try to hit a layup, and he does. He kissed it high off the window. It's a 22-point game with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So Pritchard, Craig, is that Torrey Craig? Jordan Walsh, Neemias Queta, and Sam Hauser all out there for Boston. Here's another 3 by Hauser, and that's way off the mark. Roddy rebound, outlet pass to Drummond. Drummond with a layup. He got it to go. It's a 20-point game. Sixers on a nice little run with their fresh young guys off the bench. And Pritchard dribbles with the right hand. Keyes tries to set a pick for him. Doughton fights through the adversity. And now it's Yabusele who stays on Pritchard. They'll throw it downhill, and the shot goes up, and it's no good. Roddy with another rebound. David Roddy trying to go coast to coast. It's rejected by Queta, and a nice little bounce pass from Doughton to Roddy for 3. No, that 3 could have been really, really helpful there for the Sixers. 3:20 left to go in the fourth quarter, and Pritchard gets it at the top of the key again. They swing it around the timeline. Pritchard for the dagger. No. And, well, Gershon Yabusele comes up with another rebound. Council acting pretty fast. Tries to go out in transition and hit a layup, and he can't, but he is fouled. That is the good news. I think he got fouled. Where did he travel? He got called for a travel. There was a lot of adversity down low, but he got called for a travel instead. Couldn't tell what the call was. Didn't see that in the picture. Drummond tries to play defense off of Queta again. Pritchard off the screen for 3, and that's good as gold. Another one by Peyton Pritchard. He's 7 for 14. Drummond for 2. He swishes it home. Or actually is able to dunk it. It's 121-100. Who should be our leadoff hitter, or who is our leadoff hitter, Jane? Because the leadoff hitter is going to be Schwarber. Pritchard, the A3. Yes! 8 threes by Peyton Pritchard. 15 points in the first half. And 13.5, number 2. Doughton over on the far wing again with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. That's a career high for Peyton Pritchard, in case you are wondering. And Yabusele gets it not to lose, stolen by Pritchard. Pritchard passes it to Hauser. Hauser for 3, no good. And Doughton Jr. will just volleyball it over to Yabusele as he slams it home and makes it 124-102. Pritchard with a career high 8 threes made. And he has just been feeling himself. He went 6 for 8 against the Knicks about a couple of weeks ago. Also was 7 for 15 against Detroit. So it's not like he's done. I mean, he's been really, really good. Actually tied a career high because he had 8 against Milwaukee. 124-102. Drummond tries to drive it down low. Can't lay it up and in the first time. Can't do it the second time. And the third time, he gives it back to Yabusele, and his three-pointer is way too strong. So I stand corrected. So he tied his season and his career high for three-pointers made. Pritchard is going to just try to dribble it out. 10, 9, 8 seconds left on the shot clock. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Pritchard, I don't think he's looking to take a shot or anything. They're just going to call a shot clock and a shot clock violation. All right. 34 and a half seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And the Sixers are going to go on and lose another ball game, 124-102, with 34 and a half seconds left, and there's a timeout called. Celtics call a timeout. Wow. What's up, Larry? How are you, my friend? Thank you so much for stopping by. Haven't seen you on in a while, but that's probably because I haven't been on in 5 days, so it's been a while. I needed the break. I'm happy that we got the break. And yeah, man, I'm really happy that I'm genuinely very happy to be back. I know I've said it a lot of times, but again, you have to remember that there's people that didn't tune in when I said those things and when I was talking about what I did over the break and all that stuff. So it's important to just sort of refresh people, because who's going to go back and watch minute number 5 of this stream where it was before the game? Who's going to do that right now? Is anybody going to do that? No. So, and I'm saying this because there's other content creators or aspiring broadcasters or internet streamers or whatever you want to call it now that are out there that want to do this. And so you can't be afraid to repeat yourself. If somebody tells you you're repeating the same thing, that's a good critique because it means that you're doing your job. Take that for what it is. Please smash the like button, man, and subscribe to the call from Jason, the voice shows. Oh, hold up. That's really nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. I missed you. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot to catch up with you guys about. Stay on stream. After the game's done, stay on. Don't go anywhere. We'll keep talking, you and I. Dembona will come on in for Gershon Yabusele with 34 seconds left. Really enjoy your play-by-play. Have yourself a fan here. Even though I'm a big Boston fan, you're very good at your craft, sir. Thank you. Hey, man, when the Phillies play the Red Sox, when the Sixers play the Celtics again, they played them one more time this year. That's on March 6th. So I hope to see you on. I do. I hope to see you on. It's been fun. This is one of my favorite streams that I've done this year. So Pritchard has tied a career high with the amount of three-pointers that he made. 124-102. And the Sixers will get the ball back with 33 seconds left. The Red Sox signed Bregman, man. 3 years, $120 million. Big signing. Devers' defense is horrible at third. Yeah, it was a big signing for y'all. I wanted them. Doughton's at the top of the key. We'll try to take it over towards the cup. And he puts up a 2, and he gets it with 16.7 seconds to go. The Celtics are going to dribble it out, and that is the end of the game. Sixers got crushed. You look at the final score, you see 124-104. And that doesn't even tell the full story. At one point, the Sixers were down. I mean, we could take a look right now. They were down by as many as 29 points. It felt like that they were going to get murdered by 35, 40 points with the way things were going. A lot of things went wrong. We'll talk about it. But I also have some things that I would like to get off my chest with you guys and talk to you all about. Katie says, this Sixers team is very disappointing. I say that their season is over. So we'll talk about it. We're here. And so we'll go into it. We have it all covered. Okay. Let's go to the monologue screen. Let's go back to our drawing board. Okay. Guys, are we surprised? Are we surprised that the Sixers got blown out by Boston? Are we really surprised? Really think about it. Sam Cassell was out there talking it up with Tyrese Maxey. Sam Cassell was one of the assistant coaches for the 76ers. They loved working out together. Just thought that I would relay that out there. Yeah, are we really surprised, guys? I mean, at this point, the Sixers, like, with the way that things have gone, I mean, they're just, it shouldn't be surprising to anybody. They got out-hustled. They got out-rebounded. They got out-physicaled. Anything that has the word out in front of it belonged to Boston today. The Celtics were out in front in transition every single time. They looked rested. It started off a little bit rusty for Boston, and then once they kicked things into gear towards the end of that first quarter, it was just smooth sailing. Sixers, for some reason, decided, and I can't seem to understand why, they thought, well, let's take Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown out of the game and try to double team them, and they did that early on. That's not what you should be doing if you're a coach that early in the game. You figure out who has the hot hand, who doesn't have the hot hand, and you go from there. Tatum and Brown weren't making a lot of noise. They're coming back from the All-Star break, guys. So it's not like that they played last night or that they played 3 days ago. Everybody's rusty. So in this type of scenario, that's just knowing what the outside noise is and knowing what's going on around the rest of the league. And that I sort of take into consideration. So why are we double teaming Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum that early when they haven't even established a rhythm yet? Doesn't make sense. That's why we left guys like Peyton Pritchard wide open on the near wing 5 times. 5 times. And he made all 5 of his threes in the first half. Because they're just easily running around screens, and it's just plain and simple. That's all it was. The goal was to double team Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And by the way, Jason Tatum was still impactful by getting rebounds, and he was fine with being a passer. Made some nice passes too. And so that's why we lost. Paul George, I can cry, I can complain about Embiid too. Nobody was communicating. Nobody was on the same line tonight. This was a complete team going up against a distraught team. A team that's demoralized. A team that is just so... I hate using the word lifeless because I use that word a lot. They were so out of rhythm, and they look beat. They look beat. As soon as the game started, the game was over. And that's the truth. It's the truth. So, I don't know. Do I take a lot of stock into this? No. Because this team has destroyed me a lot of times this year, and I'm not falling for anything else. I'm really not. We're still covering the team. We're still doing our job. But if we want to take a look at moral victories and we want to look at some positives, Quentin Grimes was a positive. That was cool. I like what he can do, and I think that for somebody that has young talent, young raw talent as he does, he could be somebody that the Sixers build around for the future. And I want him to play more. Again, the biggest takeaway that I had was that the Sixers were not playing well with the big max contract guys, and the younger guys, again, would have given them more of a chance to win this game. And that is the plain and simple truth. Grimes is a good keeper. I like what Grimes can do. He was able to put the ball on the floor a couple of times, man. You know? And he's nice. Paul George led the way with 17 points. That was great. We were 8 for 39 from 3. I mean, there's really not much. There's really not much at all. I did like what Boston's game plan was on Tyrese Maxey. I thought that was interesting. And I did not think that Tyrese Maxey had a good game today at all. I do not. But what they did was they put Jaylen Brown on Tyrese Maxey in the first quarter, and Maxey had a couple of nice layups on him. As great as a defender as Jaylen Brown is, Tyrese Maxey is a kryptonite for him. And Drew Holiday played in this game, and Drew Holiday, honestly, really put Tyrese Maxey on chains, in my opinion. Holiday, even at the age that he's at, just knows how to play great perimeter defense. He won a championship with Milwaukee. He was the extra piece that they were missing. Won a championship with Boston. And it's just such a stab in the back that even 10 years after we get rid of Drew Holiday, over 10 years ago, he's still tearing it up in the league. That's the killer. That's the stinger. But Drew Holiday on Tyrese Maxey was clamps. You know? So, that's the truth. I was only here for the last 30 seconds, but that was pretty disastrous. Yeah. I mean, like, I can't even kick and scream anymore. Like, what's the point? This is where they are. And I'm going to ask you the question again. Do we just try to get that top 5 pick? I'm looking at the standings right now, folks. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Okay? The standings are right here. They're right here. We are still, well, now we're 3 games behind the Bulls. We are now in 4th to last place in the Eastern Conference. In the overall league, where are we? We are the 6th worst team record-wise in basketball. Are we going to be as bad as the Wizards? No. The Wizards are still 10 games behind us. So we're not going to be able to get Cooper Flag. Probably. Because of the lottery. But where do you stand? A 6-game losing streak for the Philadelphia 76ers. That is the longest losing streak in the league right now. But do we try to get a top 3 pick is the question. Or do you actually believe that the Sixers could fight for a play-in tournament spot and just make a run out of it? Sixers are the NBA equivalent of the Giants. I'd say that they're the NHL equivalent of the Flyers. What have the Flyers done lately? Sixers, even though, well, I guess that you could say, yeah, now I'm getting off topic. I guess that you could say that, yes, like, that they've become a laughingstock, and that's probably why you say it like that. But I think that in other ways, Flyers are sort of in that same boat. They get a lot of, they get more respect, though, from the league than the Sixers do in the NBA. The Flyers, for some reason, they get respect even when they're really bad. I can't seem to understand why, which is interesting. The lottery, baby. I'm with you. I think that we should just, I think that we should just call it, man. We ain't stopping, but I've been saying that for a little bit of time, and I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to stand by that. Yeah. Guys, you have no idea how much it feels good to be back on. I really embraced that time off. I was actually I didn't realize like how much more creative my mind was too at coming up with more ideas for future streams, future collaborations, just from that time off. It really, really was helpful. And I'm excited to dive back into things. Okay, we are off tomorrow. We don't have a game tomorrow, I should say. Might post a couple of shorts from tonight. We'll see. I probably should do a podcast on Eagles hiring in-house new offensive coordinator. Probably should get that done. And then on Saturday we got another game from this team. Then Monday we got another game from this team. So the grind is back on. Not the full grind, but yeah. Should be good, man. Giants were a bottom 5 team. Flyers aren't quite that bad. I mean it, though, like from the perspective of the Flyers have underachieved expectations, but yet they still get a lot of respect from the NHL. Sixers have really unachieved expectations. They have plummeted expectations, and yet they don't get any respect. But even when they were doing good, they still got criticism in recent history from the league. So, yeah. One word to describe that game. What would you say? Maybe it's a little payback after all the Phillies took Schwarber away from my Red Sox. Yeah, you guys, I will always thank you for Kyle Schwarber. I like Kyle Schwarber. He's been a very polarizing figure in Philly because he can't play defense and because he bats leadoff, but doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like him, because I do. I think that he is a very good piece for Philly. You know. Flyers aren't far from a mediocre team. I'd say that the Flyers are pretty mediocre. They've had their stretches of good, but they've had their stretches of bad too. They have. But if we're talking about underachieving expectations, I mean, this team takes the crown. This team takes the crown jewel. They just do. Phillies would crush the Celtics. The Phils? I don't know. What's up, Scott? How are you, my friend? Okay. I think that's it, man. I think that's it. I'll leave it at that. All right. I'm done. I love you guys so much. We'll be back on Saturday night for another virtuoso, hopefully, of a performance by the 76ers, led by Paul George and a one-legged Joel Embiid. Doesn't that sound fun? It's okay, but I want to make sure that I emphasize this. For those of you that have been rocking with me throughout this whole entire season, like, you have no idea how appreciative I am of you guys. It means the world. It really does, and nothing will ever that I could say could ever repay for my thanks. You know. So, all right. Good night. Laila Tov. I will catch you all in the next one. Good night. Peace.